Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm working on a layout for Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and I'm using the Calvinball Prompts to help me decide what will go on my layout. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Today I am going to be working on a layout of my little grandkiddos last year from St. Patrick's Day. I haven't received any yet for this year. I'm not sure if they did any, but here is what I have. So it's one of them together and then one of each of them. And I have this sketch from, who made this one? Created by Scrapping Harden. So I will look up her stuff online and link her information below. Christine Harden, is that who that is? Okay, so we'll get that linked up down below. And if you want to see the links to her or to Christie's Beautiful Life or to Calvinball, please hit the show more button underneath the video description and it should pop up for you. So I am starting with a very well-loved collection. It is The Charmed Life by Simple Stories, and I bought this collection kit at a garage sale many years ago. The collection itself is from 2014, but I probably bought it in 2017, 2018, and it was so full. The lady I bought it from had purchased literally everything from the collection. It had the paper pad, it had the what are those called, like these ones that are like neutral, or not neutral, but like background kind of. They're like diagonal stripes on one side and plain on the other side. I had cardstock-ish stuff, or maybe that's the cardstock stuff I'm thinking of, maybe. And then it had like these snap album pieces in there, and then I had a bunch of, so I had the pockets, and then I had the snap album pieces, which were like 4x6 cards and 3x4 cards that were like die cut. Some of them were transparencies, some of them were just regular cut apart cards, and there was so much in here. I also had, I think, 3 die cut packs. So I had this one, which was the like smaller squares, so like 4x4 and 2x2, and then there was another one that was all like journaling stuff, like tags and labels and whatnot, and then there was a third one that had all the icons. And so over time, as I've used it up, I've kind of packaged them all together, and some of the things that are in here are just like punched out pieces and that sort of thing too. So I have that. And this too, like this is not just the pockets, of course, anymore. It's like a combination of the different things that I've used along the way with the collection. And then a bunch of my smaller scraps. Literally all I have left of the paper is this. So this polka dot, this green, and I have a few bits left of the green. I have this strip, and I have, as you can see, it had this like white parquet kind of wood grain in it, and then I had later brought in this one that had like a yellow on the back. And then I have the branding strips from the collection, and then I have a couple pieces of cardstock that I must have used along the way with it as well. I usually put those in with my cardstock scraps, but I guess not for this collection. And then I have the sticker sheet and the alphabet sheet, both. And as you can see, they're very well used. I have a few things left on there, but she also had a second sheet of this in there. So there was that. And then a little while ago, I added, because these were like loose in my papers, and so I was like, well, this collection made me think St. Patrick's Day, and I've scrapbooked St. Patrick's Day a few times with it. And so I threw these ones in there. They are St. Patrick's Day from Echo Park, also from 2014. So not the same colors, but the same theme. And this is what the other side looks like. So one of the prompts for Calvinball today is to use a shamrock or a lucky clover. And so that is why I went to this. And so, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I like that this one has rainbows in it, but I really love the colors of this, and I kind of want to get this one in the books. So let's see what I can do with that. I also have brought in this beautiful embellishment that I got from my friend Joe over on Ginger's Corner during an embellishment swap. And look at how many Calvinball points are included in here. So we have like dry embossing for 1 point. We have stamping for 2 points. We have die cut pieces for 3 points. We have B for 4 points. We have hexagons for 5 points. So if I put this on my layout, that's 5 points. Oh, 6 points because tickets are on there too. So 6 points for just putting this beautiful embellishment on there. If you are interested in doing swaps with other like-minded paper crafters, pop over to Ginger's Corner. I will have her information linked below. Also, just hit that show more button and all the information should be there. Yeah, I have received some pretty cool stuff through that. And then she sent these extra bits and pieces as well. So that's pretty cool. I also included a hedgehog card from my things that I had set aside for Calvinball because it matches the colors in here as well. And then I pulled out this blue vellum because I feel like that goes with the collection as well. I also pulled out these blue doilies because that goes with the collection as well. I picked a stencil that I thought I liked, and I chose some, I grabbed some film strips also. And I threw a stamp on here, a stitching stamp for good measure. So that being said, let's get started with the layout. And then once I'm done the layout, I will pop back on and explain to you what I decided to do. So I'm thinking white cardstock background or white wood grain paper. I'm also thinking I might I'm either going to cut these down to 4x4 squares or punch them into 3.5-inch circles. We will see. I'm going to put the punch on them and see how that looks. And then I might put them on my page like that, or I might cut them into 4x4 squares if that looks better and still use that kind of grouping. And then I'm going to try to get some of these scraps of paper used up with this, and I'm also going to try to get some more alphas used up on there. There's multiple fonts on this sheet, so I shouldn't have to pull too much from anywhere. And yeah, I think that's where we're getting started. So let me pause the camera here and I will be right back with my finished layout. All right, so here's the layout that I came up with. And I think it fits the sketch pretty well. I did end up punching my circles into photos. I did end up punching my photos into circles. And it's funny because when I go to like shape my photos, I always think back to the days where we cut our photos using like a tracer, and I don't know, it just never looked good, but I really love this. It's actually kind of cool. So I think I got quite a few points. I just wanted to add these little rhinestones on here in a few different places because this lighter blue color was used kind of throughout the like the collection, but I didn't have much of it left, so it's just a little bit of this blue color. And I'm starting to see there might be some spots I need to glue better, but that's okay. I can do that off camera. And so I have sometimes I have to think about where I want to put my little gems. So I do have kind of a, I guess it's not a diagonal design. Sorry, that light's gonna drive everybody crazy. How about I just cover Quentin entirely? I do, what was I saying? I do think I had like a diagonal design kind of going, and then I was like, no, this isn't a diagonal design. It is more like a triangle, visual triangle, and I really, really like it. So I did end up using a background that was wood grain. Where did I put the... I thought... Am I crazy? Oh, it's right here. I thought that I kept this out, and I did. It was actually a winter collection. So it says Winter Farmhouse. But the B-side was just this beautiful wood grain, so... I don't put... Like, if things don't come in a collection... And you know what? Christmas sales are a really good time to go looking for your... what do you call them? Wood grain papers, because they quite often have wood grain papers, and so if you can find some cheap B-side wood grains, that's a really good time to get those. So that's how I came upon that one, was a Christmas sale. And yeah, so that just goes to show, like, don't box yourself in to like, oh, I don't need Christmas paper, so I'm not gonna shop. Well, if you're on a budget, that might be the time to look for things that you really do enjoy, like wood grain. I love wood grain. See, this is the one place I did have that kind of bluish color. So anyways, so I did start with the wood grain, and then I decided it needed a border. I just liked it better. And also the sketch had a border when I looked back at it, and I was like, oh yeah, that does look better. So the first thing I did was I stenciled on some pattern with the Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide, and I used this stencil here. I don't know even what you would call that, but it's a geometric kind of pattern. And I stenciled in 3 places. So like my visual triangle, right? Up here, up, down, or over here and down here. And then I sprinkled with gold. What is this stuff? Mr. Huey's, I think it was called. Old in my stash for a long, long time stuff. So Mr. Huey's Color Mists in Gold. Now, you may or may not notice that I spilled my gold right there. But it was kind of at the edge, and especially after I cut the border off, it wasn't as bad. And so I just decided to keep it. And I did cover it up a little bit, but not like, oh, I have to like completely cover this up. So you can see some of the gold splatters around the page, but they're very subtle. And this is, I didn't spill here, but I smudged. So that's gold smudge, but it's okay. That's the beauty of mixed media, right? So I did that, and then I left that to the side to dry, and I got my photos straightened away. So I punched my circle photos at 3.5 inches, and I just have one of these giant Marvy punches. And it's 3.5 inches. And I love this because I can put the photo in it and see like where I'm punching, right? So I'm not gonna like chop somebody's head off or whatever. So that's what I use for that. I have a 3 and a 3.5, and I got those at a garage sale actually for $3 a piece. Score. If you're ever like if you're on a budget, garage sales, thrift shops, that's the place to find your tools, especially because tools are expensive. They're an investment, and they tend to last quite a long time. And they sometimes go in and out of style, but you can usually find a use for them, right? So, and even when they do come in and out of style, trying to think of something that I got rid of, and then I was like, I can't believe I got rid of that. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know there have been things like that. So then I got my photos, and then I was like, well, I need a little border on them. So I went to my Cricut and I cut out 3 white circles at 3.75 inches. And then while I was on there, I was like, oh, I could get a piece of my title, because I was having trouble making the words I wanted with the letters that I had. So like even Lucky was supposed to be in like those yellow letters that were in the collection, but I had to make my own K, and I was frustrated, and I'm like, you know what? It says Lucky on one of these tickets. I'm using the ticket. So that's what I did. And then I typed out Charmers. So Lucky Little Charmers, like a play on Lucky Charms, right? So that's my title. And it kind of looks kind of funky on camera, but it's really actually quite easy to see the green on the black color, because it's quite a bright green. And then what else did I do? So then I decided I was going to use doilies behind my photos. And at first I was going to offset them, but I kind of liked how they sat in the center of them for this particular size. So I just stuck them in the center, and then I started tucking and layering, and this is what I ended up with. And I didn't feel like I needed to stamp an actual date because it's obviously St. Patrick's Day and it's 2022. So I just put the year on there. What else? I think that's about it. These were the 3 colors I inked everything in. Chipped Sapphire, Mowed Lawn, and Fossilized Amber, because there wasn't a ton of like neutral in here, and I could have used blue, but I don't like the way the blue ink looks on the yellow. So yeah, so I used all 3 and it was fun. And I used the oxide for the stenciling because I just think it shows up better. Okay, so let's slide these inks out of the way. So over here, my rhinestones in the with the package, and then I'll just set these to the side. And I will bring out my notepad and a pencil. And I will start going down the list. And I didn't really go looking for a ton of things because I just liked the way things landed on here. So we'll see what happens. Stars, yes, there's a star here, and there's also a star paper back here. So star, die cut. Yeah, I die cut the title, but also like, do I have other die cuts on here? Maybe not. The circles. The flower is a die cut piece. This hexagon is a die. Okay, yeah, I have die cuts. Striped paper. This little heart is punched out of striped paper. And use a stamp. So I did that in kind of 2 ways. First of all, I stamped my stitches here, but there's also this little camera piece is a stamp. So either way. Use a stencil. Yes, I already talked about stenciling on here. Add a date. I'm going to count the year as a date because that'll tell us like how old they were in the future. Like, of course, right now I know, but 10 years from now I'm not going to know. Use a frame. Well, there's a frame around my journaling. That counts for something. Clean my desk. Yeah, I've already cleaned up because this was a big mess after. Clean the desk between projects. Heart. Yeah, I have a heart up here. Sorry, I think my husband's going to come in. The dog's going to bark. Washi tape. Yep, I have this gold polka dot washi tape down in all 3 embellishing areas. And let's see, what else do I got? Gold. Well, I splattered gold, and also my washi has gold dots on it. And then fussy cutting. Did I fussy cut anything for this? Yes, I fussy cut the, not that, I fussy cut the label because it was a printable. So I fussy cut it out of the paper. Handwriting. I used a handwritten font for my Charmers part of my title. Polka dot pattern. So my washi is polka dot pattern. And so is this green paper back here, although I didn't use a ton of patterned paper on here. And as you saw when I showed you the stuff that I had, there's not a ton in there, and it still is a very busy layout. So didn't need it. Titles with 2 or more fonts. So I have 1, 2, 3 fonts here. Circles, yes, my photos are circles. Doily, yes, I got 3 doilies on there. Clouds, so I used these little enamel clouds from Doodlebug. I think they're so cute. Memorabilia, no. Butterfly, yes, I have a wood grain butterfly, right, or not wood grain, wood veneer butterfly. Torn paper, no, I don't think I tore any paper on this one. Bling or rhinestones, yep, I put them on when we first started back up again. What else? Arrow, I do have a little arrow sticker right there. Label, yeah, I printed my journaling on a label. Avocado, no. 3 photos, yes. Rainbow, no, but I probably could have gotten away with it here, but I decided against it. Banner, yeah, I have a few banner pieces. So these label stickers are on banner pieces. This kind of fishtail bannered. And there's a little banner sticker actually back here, but it's hard to see. Mushrooms, no. Viewmaster, yeah, I did. When I was looking for my label, I found the Viewmaster, so I pulled it out too. Dry embossing, yes, this honeycomb or this hexagon back here is a dry embossed. Ribbon, nope, I did not put ribbon on, although I did look at some, but I decided not to. 3 or more patterned papers. Now, you might not think there is, but there's quite a few actually. So this green piece back here is a patterned paper, and it's the same patterned paper that this circle is punched out of. So that's 1. This floral paper is punched circle as well, so that's 2. This star paper also punched, and this yellow piece right here is actually a yellow wood grain circle, and then this is another patterned paper. So there's more than 3, just in really small amounts. Complete an unfinished project, no. Christmas, no. Hexagon, yep, this big piece here is a hexagon. And what else can I tell you? Branding strips, no, I didn't. Actually, yes, I did. These little banner pieces are all cut out of the branding strips from that collection, so that I did use branding strips. Look at that. Books, no. Musical symbols, no. Flags, I don't know, do the flag banners count? Sure. I think I heard that conversation somewhere and they did count them. So inking, yeah, I inked the edges. Watercoloring, no. Key, I did put a key on here. Enamel dot, I'm counting my enamel clouds because I dotted them around the page. And clock, no. List, no. Chipboard, I don't think so. No chipboard today. Scalloped edge, well, my doilies have a scalloped edge. Cat or dog, no. But I'm surprised the dog's not in these pictures. He's literally always next to those kids. Numbers that are not a date, no. Well, I have the number 2 down here. It's not part of the date. It says, "We are so lucky to be loved by the 2 of you." I guess that counts. And faith, no. Wood grain, my background was a wood grain. Foiling, no. Twine or jute, no. Sunflower, no. Green, yes, I got green on there. use a punch. Yeah, I used a few. So this vellum that's backing the sticker piece here is punched out of a label punch that I have. The circles are punched. The Viewmaster actually was punched out of a printable. And is that it for punches? Yeah, circles. Oh, and the heart is also punched. Film strip. Yep, I used this film strip to back my title. Use a typewriter font. I did. This one is called 2P's Typo. So I had ages ago, I don't know if it was creating keepsakes or what, but there was like, I had these discs that were font discs, and I just copied them all onto my external hard drive. And so when I get a new laptop, I just take them off the external hard drive and add them to my computer. So I have a bunch of 2P's fonts and a bunch of Creating Keepsakes fonts and some Anagraphin fonts and even some Ranger fonts. So yeah, it was called 2P's Typo. Let's see. Typewriter font. Vellum. Yeah, I backed my little piece there in vellum. I used that blue vellum. And use leftovers. Well, this whole layout is kind of made of leftovers. So even this like punched piece here, this was already punched from something, and I just trimmed it up and added it onto there. So I think that counts. Feather. I got a little feather down here. And metal. Yes, my key, my star, and my little brad on my tag up here is metal. And QR code, no. Stitching. Yeah, I stamped some stitched lines in each one of my, sorry, cover him up again. In each one of my cluster areas. Put away 5 layouts, no. Use a sketch, yes, I used this sketch here by Christine Harden. And Disney, no. And some are crossed out, so we no longer have dinosaur, horse, house, birthday, glitter, avocado, zebra stripe, chipboard, silver, or pink. We have floral patterned paper. Yep, I have a piece right there. And a camera right here. And a chevron. Yep, included that punched chevron piece down there. Hedgehog, no. Tree, no. Glasses, no. Snail, no. Wood veneer, yes. Ticket, yes. Part of my title was on a ticket, and then there's also a ticket in this cluster piece right here that my friend Joanne made me. What else? Winter, no. Airplane, no. Baby. I don't know, is she still a baby in these pictures? Yeah, I would say so. She was barely a year old. Turtle, no. Dimensional adhesive, yes. So this is on dimensional adhesive, this is on dimensional adhesive, and this is on dimensional adhesive. Acrylic or acetate. My film strip is acetate piece. A bee, yeah, my bee is right here. Penguins, no. Gnome, no. Tag, I got this teeny tiny little tag sticker up here that says hi. It's hard to even tell that it's a tag, isn't it? Can you see it? It's got a little brad in the end of it. Very tiny. But I'm counting it because it's on there. And let's see what else. Quote, there was these little stickers on here from the song You Are My Sunshine, You Make Me Happy. So that's definitely a song quote right there. Button, yep, right there. And what else do we have on here? Sequins, yes, I have one sequence with each, with each cloud, I think, is where I put them. Except this one didn't really go with the cloud, so I moved it, but that was the intention, Sequins, yes. Fingers are dirty from the ink. Mermaid, no. Blue, yes. Use a cut file while I cut that and my circles on the Cricut, so I think that's using cut files. Clear stickers, no. Burlap, no. Purple, no. Splatter, yep, I got gold splatter on there. Fringe, no, and I asked for that because I really need to learn to use my fringe scissors. I'll have to get it on another layout. Shamrock, yes, there's a shamrock up here. Okay, and then what else do I get points for today? Oh my goodness, let me see. A 12 by 12 layout and make a process video. Post to the gallery, yes. Share to a group, yes. Share on Instagram, yes. Share on other social media, yes. Comment on 10 gallery layouts. No, I probably won't have time for that today. Instagram, no. But I do have to prep for my class tomorrow, so I consider that crafting. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 points. That's pretty good. Okay, so 70 Calvinball points for me today. That's pretty exciting. I could get more if I take the time to comment and stuff. We'll see. I don't think I will have time tonight, though. It's getting late. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.